Hi, and welcome to Discussing Fitchburg Now. I'm your host, Sam Squalia. This week's show, we have the Arc of Opportunity here, talking about the Take Me Out to the Ball Game event and some other events that they have going on. And then in a second half of our show, we're talking with Chell, with the author of The Adventures of Dharma Doxie. And we even get to see Dharma, the little dog. But on now, I have Mary Hafey and Maddie Merchant of the Arc of Opportunity. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having us, Sam. You're always so enthusiastic. We love being with you.
Well, I just love the Arc of Opportunity, and I love the Take Me Out to the Ball Game event. Yeah, so that's a good one.
It is a good one, and you have been there from the start. So.
Have I? Have I been there from the start?
You have. You've been there from the start.
Yeah. Oh, but this year, it's a little different than from what I remember.
Absolutely.
So what's the change? Let's talk about the change.
So we have actually changed venue. We've been having this at our place here in Fitchburg, and decided this year that we would spice it up a bit and go to Leominster.
Leominster City Hall, in the Grand Hall at Leominster City Hall.
Can you picture those Red Sox banners hanging down?
We get the green monster banner.
The green monster, and you know, all the sponsors, and as you know, it's actually, you know, it's 6 to 8 on a Friday night. Your ballpark franks, your popcorn, your microbreweries testing, and silliness. Silliness.
That's perfect for baseball.
It is. And what's really wonderful is that you come to it because you love the Red Sox. Please dredge out some kind of Red Sox attire and come wearing it. We do let Yankees fans in.
Do you really?
Small numbers, isn't there?
We don't get that many.
We don't get, but we do have a few loyal Yankees fans, and we love them too, even if their loyalty is misplaced. But it's a fun night, and so it's people. You know, most people I think know that the ARC supports people with developmental and intellectual disabilities and other disabilities. But that night, it doesn't matter the slightest bit about who has a disability and who doesn't.
Yeah, well, that's a perfect segue into the Arc of Opportunity. What does this support? Well, you know, what does the base? You know, what does this Take Me Out to the Ball Game support?
So all the money that's raised goes towards my department, which is the Family Supports Department, which gets very little funding from the state. And so Family Supports there's a lot that goes into family supports, and one of the big things that we do is respite, and we do that through recreation. So we provide a lot of events so that the families can get a break and their loved one is able to have fun and be social and make friends. We also do trainings for the parents on advocacy events, and we do a lot of support groups. The family supports there's just a wide array of things that we cover.
And it's never the same because needs change. Needs change over time. And so, as Maddie said, family support doesn't have funding for the most part. Tiny bit.
Funding, it doesn't have funding from the state.
From the state.
So you try to raise money so that families are able to do things to get the support that they need, including recreational services, right?
Correct.
Like being able to go on a trip with the group, with the family.
Right.
Or be able to just do something on a Saturday.
Right.
Imagine, people with disabilities are wonderful people, just like other people. And it takes a lot of effort at times to support a loved one with a disability. So if you're spending Saturday at the ARC, your family gets to actually get some other things in life done. And so it's a win-win situation. But it's also just lots of transitions happen in people's lives, and what happens when mom and dad are getting older. So Maddie and the folks that she works with will step in and help people figure those things out so that people can stay as part of the community. Being part of the Fitchburg community, being part of the North Central community, it's important.
So what are some other examples of supports?
So I will say, Mary mentioned talking about taking care of the older generation, and we're talking about family members, caregivers that are aging, because as we know, the baby boomers are getting older. And so,
excuse me.
Sorry. It's just, a known fact.
Just life. Just life.
Absolutely. So, one of the things that I do is I go into the homes of those that are aging that support someone at home. And there's one family in particular that was diagnosed with cancer, and so part of my role was to step in and make sure that they made it to their appointments.
Cancer appointments?
Correct, yeah, their radiation appointments and their regular doctor's appointments, and make sure they stayed on Mass Health. And because Dad couldn't drive, and so that really helped him, and he's now actually, in remission and able to go back into the community, and that's just a great story for me to tell others, because I helped out in it.
But if you didn't if you didn't step in and help a family figure out at a time that's really stressful, figuring out how to access what they can to stay together as a family.
Right. I can't imagine what choices you might have to be faced with.
Right. And the other is, there are a lot of grandparents raising children.
Yes.
Especially developmentally challenged.
Correct.
Right. And so that's, again, a whole generation older than a typical parent who's now supporting someone, their grandchild.
Their older child or two.
Or it could be the grandparent is supporting a younger child as well. But, imagine your parents having full-time responsibility for caring for a young child.
Oh, yeah. My mom wouldn't like that. She says you have children when you're young for a reason.
So it's that kind of thing. But it's also, everything. The ARC does lots of. We did a big Get Out the Vote campaign this year under Maddie's department.
Rev Up. The Rev Up campaign.
Rev Up the Vote.
For your clients?
Yeah.
And for family members.
And for
we consider it the disability community, because as you know, the disability community doesn't just include the individual with the disability, it's their family members, it's their staff, it's everybody that's involved in that person's
their neighbors.
life. Yeah. And so therefore their voices count too, so we wanted to educate everybody in the disability community.
But there is a perception that if you have an intellectual disability, you couldn't possibly vote. That's not so.
I guess I never thought about it.
Right.
How many adults of average intelligence go into the voting booth and really haven't read what they're actually voting on?
I would say adults range, if all intelligence is.
So we really did a big campaign on that. And another one is really to look at everything we do, Sam, is to have people be part of their community. And
voting is an integral part of being part of the community.
Absolutely. But it's also being in healthy relationships. Yep. So you can be a person with a disability and want to be involved in intimate relationships, or maybe need some support around knowing, how do I approach somebody else in a healthy way that is always consensual and gives dignity to the fact that all of us want to be connected in some way. And so a lot of helping families grapple with, what do you mean my adult with a disability might actually be interested in somebody else? And helping families grapple with, this is part of being a human being. And
having that
those things.
Being able to have someone to facilitate that conversation is important, because
we're good at
hard
talking.
enough having that conversation with, I can't even imagine having that conversation with my, 12-year-old. I don't know what time you start talking about that.
Yeah.
We are very good at talking about sex, death, any number of things. And that is part of what the ARC does. We support people. We get that first phone call saying, I had prenatal testing. I'm going to have a child with Down syndrome. Is my life over? Nope, it's going to be a different journey than you thought.
People call you with that.
Yes. Yes. Or we support people through their last breath, and in between get lots of jobs for people and help people to be part of their community.
It's a fantastic organization, and the Take Me Out to the Ball Game event just helps to support it even more.
So look at those hot dogs. You can see the ballpark
Is this
food.
last year's event?
I think this is last year's event. I'm pretty sure that is actually.
It is.
And remember, one of the fun things is there will be a 7th inning stretch, and there'll be a conga line and Sweet Caroline. So we recreate all the elements of the ball
It's like you're at the
game.
ball game, kinda.
kind of like at the ball game.
And
at Leominster City Hall.
At Leominster City Hall. And this is, oh, can we pull up the flyer for the actual event so everybody knows what event we're talking about? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Can we pull that up on the screen?
So this is Take Me Out to the Ball Game. We would love it if you actually went online and bought tickets in advance.
Yeah, the tickets are $15 a person.
And you know what it gets you? Changed this year.
Ooh.
So
It's not a chance to win that big screen TV that I wanted?
No. We've moved beyond big screen TVs. So for the past couple of years, we've been lucky enough to have day passes for Great Wolf Lodge, which you know you can't get unless you are you can't go with there.
You can't buy those. You
can't
can
buy
only
those.
win them.
However, our friends at Great Wolf Lodge were even more generous this year and made it an overnight and the passes.
Ooh,
so
that's even better.
We hope you're going to come, and your admission gets you a raffle ticket for that drawing. But guess what? If you can't come, you could still buy a ticket and be in the drawing for the overnight and the four.
So you can buy $15. You can get in and get hot dogs and get the beer tastings and get the conga line.
Wait a minute, and you get some little tickets to drop into the coffee can raffle.
Oh, you get some too?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's all part of it. The only thing that you might want to do extra is some of our wonderful partners have actually donated Red Sox tickets and things like that. So
for silent auctions?
We do a live auction of just four items. 4 pairs of tickets is what that is. But the silent auction is, you can buy extra tickets if you want, but you don't have to because we're going to give you some as part of your admission. It's just a fun night.
It is. It is. I love it. And there's beer.
There is beer. That's free.
We have the Wachusett Brewing Company.
Yep.
Will be there.
Wachusett.
And they have all their various flavors, of which they have so many new flavors now. And
Every
they're
year.
I think they're one of the top. Is it top 50?
I believe
in the
right.
United States.
Yes.
Brewing companies now.
And they have been such great supporters of us over the years. So
they're fantastic. Who else is going to be there? Last year there was Gardner Ale House.
Gardner Ale House once again. They are our 2 tried and trues.
Narragansett was there last year.
Not this year, but the other 2 definitely are there. And our marketing person continues to line all sorts of things up.
So there could be some more.
There could be more
There's also
surprises.
a cider. I don't know where it's
That's
from,
right,
but
the hard cider.
A local
hard
cider is
Carlson's?
there. So if it's the local one, I
know they're local. And
Hard cider.
the apples are grown in Leominster.
That's, I believe.
Yeah.
I think that's right. Oh, they'll have to be now.
I'm a cider fan, not a
Now
beer
they'll have
fan.
to come.
Yeah.
So and in addition to that, you also have a beer and wine.
We do.
Sold.
Yes. Yes. Taste away, though.
Okay.
Taste away.
Got it.
And that's Friday night.
Friday night, April
Now, we
5th.
can keep you really busy all weekend. So that might be me.
Can we pull up this picture? This looks like fun.
Yeah.
You can actually get a pie in the face
Throw
to Mary.
cream pie in your face.
And you can see that she's just the Yankee.
Yeah. So that's, if you're going to throw a pie at somebody, it better be a Yankee. So anyway, so lots of fun things. And it's a family-friendly event. So there's stuff for kids, and so don't feel like, oh no, I can't bring my kid. By all means, bring kids.
Oh yeah, there's lots of kids.
There are lots of
I
kids.
always bring Nikki.
That's right.
Lately she's been all anti-going places, but she's coming. And she's
Good.
going to enjoy herself.
She will have fun. She will have fun. But then you could come back on Sunday. You could do something else fun with us on Sunday.
Yeah, so Sunday you have a 5K run.
We do. We do.
And does that support the same thing?
Yes.
It does. We actually were contacted by Orange Theory Fitness, who had checked us out and said, we do something every year for a nonprofit. So all the proceeds come to us.
Oh, that's very nice.
We have to raise every penny for family supports, 95%, 98% of it. And so this is a new one for us.
So this is Running for Opportunity 5K. It starts at Doyle Field. That's Sunday, April 7th. And the race begins at 10 a.m. Is there walking and running?
It's run, walk, wheel.
Run, walk, wheel.
Run, walk, wheel.
Oh, that's great.
Because we have people who get around in wheelchairs, and they are enthusiastic to participate as well. I'm not the runner. I can do the speed walking. So I'll be there.
Yeah, last year I signed up for a 5K and I was planning on preparing, but I didn't. So
Yeah, well,
I was almost last. Almost, but I wasn't last. But I participated.
Yeah.
So,
excellent.
Yeah.
So this is new for us, but we're so thrilled, and it'll be a busy, fun weekend.
And this is hosted by Orange Theory Fitness, which is the new place up by Target.
The new gym.
Yes.
The new gym.
Yep.
Up by Target. That's very
Yes.
generous of them.
Yes, we were thrilled. They contacted us and
So Friday night,
gift.
you go to Take Me Out to the Ball Game at Leicester City Hall.
Eat lots of hot dogs and popcorn and
Hot
things.
dogs, there's chili.
And then on Sunday,
burn
run
it off.
Yeah, that's right.
Perfect.
That's right. That's our plan for the
So
weekend.
it's Friday, April 5th, 6 to 8, Leominster City Hall.
Correct.
There's going to be food, chili, beer. The Red Sox are actually playing the Diamondbacks that night.
Arizona
at 7
Diamondbacks.
p.m. So you can put on your radio.
That's right. That's right.
All right.
We'll be announcing the score and
Oh, you'll be announcing the score?
DJ. We have a DJ for the evening. And
Oh, perfect.
Be
Good, 'cause I don't want to
wonderful.
miss it.
No, we won't. It probably won't be over
By the time,
the event ends.
So
But you know what?
You'll be able
That's
to
all right.
watch the end
That's all right.
at home.
Yeah.
Or wherever you go.
Wherever you go next.
Perfect. All right.
So those are the exciting things going. Those are some of the exciting things going on.
What else is new with the Ark?
Well, we have a bold move going on.
This bold move.
Bold. You get to see Madeline, and I think can appreciate the work that she does just as she speaks about it and her enthusiasm. She's one of 275 staff that we have, and they work incredibly hard, and they care deeply about the people that we support, and they are often working a second job because we've done, since I've arrived 9+ years ago, we've worked slowly but surely to improve salaries, to improve benefits, because our human beings, the staff, are our greatest resource. And yet, there are some limits. We have state contracts, and there isn't an endless sum of money.
Nope.
So there's a really very bold initiative going on, recognizing that there's a workforce crisis going on.
Workforce crisis.
Workforce crisis. Think of it. Minimum wage just went up to $12 an hour. We're paying people $13.87 to take care of human beings with complex lives and unique needs.
That can be difficult.
You can deliver pizza, you can be a janitor, and you can be a file clerk and make far more money than you make working with people, making the quality of their lives so much better. So our legislators are being asked to actually recognize that we're not going to have a workforce to take care of our most vulnerable people. Maddie referenced people aging, the caregivers aging. They're going to need people as well to provide services to them. And so the legislator is being asked to place the starting wage at $17 an hour for entry-level staff, and then adjust it for all wages up to $75,000. Otherwise, you get salary compression.
Salary compression.
Yes. So if the most entry-level people went up to $17 an hour, while their boss is getting $14.87 an hour,
yeah.
it's a problem.
Right.
So that's salary compression. It has to get adjusted all along the way. And you might say, whoa, that's a lot of money. How is this going to happen? Because it isn't just...
I'm not saying, whoa, that's a lot of money. Okay.
Good. Sam, thank
let
you.
you know.
There are people listening who might be saying, wow, how can that be made possible? And there really are a number of ways. We still have 2 state institutions open in our Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
2 state institutions.
For people with developmental and intellectual
Now,
disabilities.
when you say state institution, that sounds ominous.
It is.
Is it ominous?
If you go back to the 50s, or the 40s, or maybe the 70s, if you gave birth to a child with a substantial disability, the doctor would likely to have said to you, I'm sorry, dear, put that one in an institution, forget about them, and have another one. No criticism.
You kind of see that in the movies.
Yes, it's true. And no criticism of people who followed their doctor's advice.
That was what people did
Absolutely.
then.
So please don't hear that as criticism. And some of those folks are still in state institutions, and families can be fearful and say, how could the community possibly support our loved one? And so there's probably about 50 people left in the state living in state institutions.
There's only 50 people?
Of people with developmental and intellectual disabilities.
In the 2 state institutions in Massachusetts. There's only 50 people.
People are, that census goes down as people
And
die.
these are run by the state.
Yes.
So these must cost a lot of money.
Well, the line item is $42 million in the state budget.
$42 million for the two every year. And the Arc of Opportunity, it doesn't have to pay $40 million. It doesn't get $42 million.
Our most intensive support, it would be a 24-hour group home. Very few people actually live in them. Most people live in the community.
And you do run a few 24-hour group homes.
We do, for a fraction of what it costs to keep in state institutions open. So I would
you're
say
a valuable service.
We absolutely
in multiple levels.
Yeah.
And we're not alone. So this is not advocacy by the Arc of Opportunity only. This is a bold initiative by the chapters of the Arc leading the way in Massachusetts.
The National Arc?
The Massachusetts.
The Massachusetts Arc.
Right. There are 18 chapters.
18 chapters of the Arc.
That's
right. Is it a national?
It is. There are about 800 across the country, 18 in Massachusetts, and of which we are one. So
what are the legislators saying?
We're actually getting some good support. Our local delegation is wonderful.
I know Representative Steve Hay is a big supporter. He's at all the ARC events.
Absolutely. Yes. Natalie Higgins is wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Dean Tran is wonderful. We get, our local delegation is wonderful. But remember, we serve 28 communities, and so we're doing a lot of things to reach out to make the case to say, these are the most vulnerable people in our society.
And we have a workforce crisis.
And we have a workforce crisis.
We will have one, especially, as salary compression happens naturally with the minimum wage going up year by year.
Absolutely. So next year, it goes up another $1, minimum wage. But think about it.
Next year?
Yes. We have full employment in Massachusetts.
Full employment.
There's, from a labor statistics, it's considered everybody who wants to work essentially can work. There are plenty of jobs available.
It feels like that from all the jobs being offered online.
Yes. Yep. And so we have folks who could leave us for 25 cents more at another place. We have to do a lot of training to get people ready to support the individuals who are the most vulnerable. So reducing turnover means that we have a well-trained staff, the relationships built with the clients that we support stand the test of time, and we're able to fully staff, so we never would have to say to somebody, it is not at this point, we're trying to make sure it never gets to this, gee, don't send your loved one into program today because there's not enough staff.
Right.
Now, that's not what's happening right now, but there is a risk.
So now the Arc of Opportunity itself seems to be, you have 270 employees, you said?
Yeah.
Right? So what are your benefits? What's the benefits? I mean, beyond the feeling of the joy of helping others.
Yep.
What are the benefits of working at the Arc?
So we consider ourselves always a learning lab. You're never going to be there and be stagnating in a job. We definitely learn and grow all the time. We actually have an extremely good benefits package.
So it's not about all the minimum pay, the base pay.
The pay is
benefits.
We do well with our benefits. We really do recognize that our staff need to stay healthy. Their families need to stay healthy, so health insurance is important. Our work is rewarding and demanding, so reasonable time off is a good thing to keep people well. And the biggest thing for me is really, you won't get stale at the Arc.
There's always something new going on.
There is, and we challenge ourselves to get better all the time.
Yep.
And with that, so if you're the kind of person who really feels like, I don't want to stagnate, I care about what I do, I want to work in a place that makes a difference in this world, we're the place you should be.
And what kind of training do you need, or certifications do you need at the different levels?
It's all across the board. So there are people who need advanced degrees, and there are people who have high school diplomas. They have to complete a lot of training as our employee and stay certified in a whole bunch of things. Everything you can imagine from first aid and CPR, but something called positive behavioral supports. How do you offer people choice, not say, no, Sam, you can't do that. Stop that, Sam. But how do you give people choice?
Like, I see what you want to do here, but how about if you do this instead?
would you rather choose this or this? I mean, in some ways, I know I'm imagining you use some of those strategies. All of us want to feel like we have some self-control, don't we? I mean, nobody wants
I might
to be
need that
told
training
what to
for my
do.
daughter.
Yeah, well,
Actually, now that you're saying it. Like, stop doing that.
but it's self-determination, and so we have some wonderful clinicians that help people figure out if there are some behavior challenges, how to address those. We have staff who are really great at getting out in the community and negotiating, being the business solution. So I mentioned it's hard to fill jobs these days. The workforce isn't as available. So we might have somebody who's a solution for you who's one of our clients. They may be able to do the whole job, but maybe they can do a part of that job.
You also work with industry to put people to work.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. So, you know, imagine if at your office there was a job that was a part of somebody's job, and boy, wouldn't it be nice if somebody came in a couple hours a day or and took care of whatever it is. So sometimes we carve out a job that makes us the workplace solution. Or if an employer has a job that turns over a lot, and they're saying,
want someone dependable.
I want somebody who can do it. Then we're the one who can be your workforce solution and match a person with a disability up with your job needs. And guess what? There's actually a federal tax credit, a work opportunity tax credit.
That's a win-win.
It sure is. It sure is. And how many times as adults does somebody, when you first meet them, you're talking about, as you get to know each other, hey, so what do you do for work? It's an easy icebreaker. If you're a person with a disability and you don't have that identity, you're yet again a second-class citizen.
Yeah, like I don't have a job.
Right, right. I want to work, but I don't have a job. So we try to make that happen.
And do you find it, you know, do a lot of the people that your clients are able to match up with jobs, or you need more? More jobs.
We need more jobs. We absolutely need more jobs.
Absolutely.
In a couple of ways. So it's the individual job, the hire this person, but it's also if you have light packaging and assembly work,
like
biotechnology.
Handles on buckets.
Yes, that's one. But we're doing one in the Devons area where we're actually doing some biomedical devices.
Like in a clean room.
People are wearing their masks and their hats and their gowns, and yes. And feel very proud that what they're putting together, they know is part of a cancer treatment. And that feels important. So again, we celebrate your abilities, not your disability. Who cares what any one of us can't do? We want to celebrate what people can do.
Oh, that's beautiful. All right. So,
and real.
So we've been talking with Mary Hafey, Maddie Merchant from the Arc of Opportunity. That's at 764 Main Street.
564. How could you forget?
I know. 564 Main Street in Fitchburg, and they do so much for the community. And the newest fundraiser, or the next fundraiser, is going to be Friday, April 5th. At Leominster City Hall, 6 to 8 p.m. Tickets are $15. You can buy them in advance on the website, and even if you don't go, you get a chance to win Great Wolf Lodge tickets. It's going to be amazing. There's hot dogs, there's chili, there's beer tastings. There's so much fun.
Popcorn and a conga line.
Ooh, popcorn, conga line. We sing Sweet Caroline.
That's right.
It's so much fun. And then Sunday, you burn it all off at the 5K run,
That's right.
walk, or wheel.
Yep.
At Doyle Field, 10 a.m.
That's right.
And that's $30.
That's
and
right.
I assume we can sign up
online,
in advance or day of.
Correct.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, yes. But you order your T-shirt size in advance if you sign
so if
up
you
in
order
advance.
online, you get a T-shirt.
That's right.
Oh, that's good.
And
that's sponsored by
$5.
Orange Theory Fitness, right up at Target in Leominster.
Absolutely, a new partner.
All right, thank you so much for coming on. We're going to take a short break, and then we're going to be talking about the adventures of Dharma Doxie with Dharma the Doxie.
Thank
Hello
you, Sam.
and welcome to FATV, Fitchburg Access Television. Each week we take pride in providing some of the best public access television programs in New England. From FATV live sporting events, city meetings, and school functions, to weekly shows such as Barbara and You, Inside and Discussing Fitchburg, Sports Weekly, Weekly Wellness, and Our City. Our dedicated staff of industry professionals and hard-working volunteers is here each week, working behind the scenes, making it all happen. Besides on air, our programming is also shown live online, where you can see our shows in beautiful high definition. You can also search through our archive of past shows and watch anytime at your leisure. But did you know you can also be part of the action? Become a member of FATV, and you gain access to all the equipment, studio space, and classes that FATV has to offer. You can create your own show, volunteer for exciting live events in our studio, or all around the city in our high-quality mobile broadcast truck. The possibilities are endless. For a small fee, you can become an individual member. Or for a little more, you and a group of friends can become part of a rising trend in the future of television. From sports shows to news shows, civic events, and talk shows. You can be in the driver's seat by directing and even starring in your own production. Also, students are free. FATV staff can assist you by getting your new show up and running with professional industry standard equipment, TV studio time, and private editing suites. All you need are friends to help out, and before you know it, you will be on the air. So if you have a great idea for a TV show and want to share it with the world, stop by 175 Kimball Street, Fitchburg for a free tour of our facility. You can also contact us at 978-343-0834 or email us at info@fatv.org. Fitchburg Access Television, working together for a stronger community.
Welcome back to Discussing Fitchburg Now. Our second half this week, we have Chell Sommese, and Ralph. And you are the author of The Adventures of Dharma Doxie. Yes. And we have Dharma Doxie. Dharma. Hey, Dharma.
Hi.
Ah. So this is a children's book that you wrote.
Yes, that is correct.
Oh, there we go. The Adventures of Dharma Doxie.
Right.
So what inspired you to write this? I mean, besides Dharma, of course.
Well, about 10 years ago, I was teaching. We're both retired teachers. And I had an idea for a book. But, you know, I don't know that I was intimidated. But I was like, yeah, okay, I'll write a book. Well, what does that mean? And I met a woman who wrote all these very famous books. And when she invited us to her house for dinner, it was like being with a regular person. And I thought, well, if she could do this, then maybe we could do it. So we started the book. We did a lot of...
10 years ago?
10 years ago, we started the book. And of course, anyone who knows teachers knows that we work very hard, and there's not a lot of time to finish up a book.
Right, so, teachers, of course.
So we did not finish the story until after we both retired, which is over the last 3 years. So, yeah.
So you've been working on this for 10 years, total.
If you can imagine, Dharma just being about sitting in the palm of your hand.
Oh, that's
And so Michelle would be doing her lesson plans, and in the crook of her would be Dharma.
Laying, because she was so little, and I felt, you know, a little baby, and so I'd sit there and I'd type, and she'd be, you know, she is right now.
Well, dogs are the best.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Of course, if it was a cat, that cat would be walking on the keyboard.
Yeah.
That's right.
They're independent.
Yeah, cats.
True.
Cats are tough.
They are.
They are.
But you need them in the country.
Yeah, I'd be happy to talk about, you know, the benefits of dogs over cats.
Yes.
Okay, dogs.
Okay.
Cats. Cats are still okay.
Okay.
Yep.
But anyway,
Yes.
The Adventures of Dharma Doxie. So you started writing it 10 years ago, but it is illustrated by Judy Wing and Maggie Goss.
That is correct.
So let's talk about that.
Yeah, it was really, the whole story has been just a story of opportunity. You know, I started writing the story, you know, it was very basic at the time, and it took me about 3 years to get that finished. And I attempted to sell it to different publishing houses, and which I didn't know that when you submit a children's book, they don't want to see any pictures. They only want the story.
Really?
And I thought, well, how can you have like a vision of what this should look like?
Huh.
And so I met a lady in my town who had written books, and she said, why don't you just publish it yourself? So
Because you had already
tried.
You already, when you submitted it, you already had the illustration.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
They were only kind of like basic things
Tell
at
her
the
how
time.
Judy
Right. And so at the school that I worked with, Judy Wing happened to get a job working in the library after school, you know, because teachers don't really have a lot of
She
extra
was
time.
the art teacher there.
Judy was the art teacher.
And still is. She's still working.
Oh, okay.
And,
Where?
At Wilton Library Cooperative High School in Wilton, New Hampshire.
In Wilton, New Hampshire.
And so what she would do is, because she was in the library 2 afternoons a week, she was able to do these pictures. And so she came up with rudimentary, really simple pictures. I took my story, we put it on a big picture book. We took it to the local elementary school, Florence Rideout Elementary. And we went before 3 classrooms, a 2nd grade, 3rd grade, and 4th grade. And the 2nd graders were like, oh, the 3rd graders were like, whoa, and the 4th graders were like, can Dharma come and visit? And I thought, yeah, we should move forward. So we did, and the pictures have had many revisions, and we were able to finish them up at the end of 2017, beginning in 2018. And so then we took the book now with these pictures, and the story itself, we had an editor go over it. We found an editor and paid an editor to do that work.
So you published this yourself?
We published it ourselves.
With an editor and illustrations?
Right. And that's done in colored pencil.
Colored pencil?
I know, and if you look
So-
at these pictures, they're just beautiful.
Oh yeah, they're very rich. Can you, let's see, where's can we get the camera on me? There we go.
Yeah.
So you can see this is one fine day in the Georgia sun. Mama waits for her little one. And then we have
Papa sings a lullaby, here comes Dharma Doxie.
And so Chell would jump up in the middle of the night, and she's singing this song. And I, you know, and I said,
What's
Chell,
wrong?
you know, so anyway, but she went into one of the music teacher there in Wilton.
school.
She went to her and she said, well, can
Could you at least put it down in music? Like,
and so she says, okay, sing it to me. So Michelle sang it, so she put it down in words, and then we went to
and then we forgot all about it for 5 years.
Yeah, but the thing is that we were trying to figure out how to get, you know, the song out there. And so she said, oh, well, the school, there's a teacher there at the school who has a choir.
Christy, yeah.
and then the song goes along with the book?
Yes.
Yes, and so when we go out in public and we sing, which we will be.
And I don't sing, she sings.
He doesn't sing on May 4th. We actually play the recording and I sing the book to the kids.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, so we have the recording loaded in.
Yeah.
All right, so Matt, can we play the recording and I'll hold up the book and I'll kind of follow along.
And you can sing right along.
Oh yeah, I could sing.
hold
Yeah. Maybe Chell could sing.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome.
Well, don't
Can we
sing
do
over
that?
the kids.
Can you do that with this camera that's kind of focused a little closer? Oh, there we go. Can you let's see? Can you play the music? Can we hear it? I don't know if I can hear it.
No, it's the big red button you got to push.
Is it playing? No, it's not working?
Okay, go ahead, Michelle, you're on.
Okay. Yeah. Michelle's going to read it.
How's that?
You got to show
Yeah,
that.
point it to this camera.
You got to get close.
Which way?
Or can we use this camera here?
Right there.
No, not that camera. Okay, let's use that camera. Here.
Okay, she'll hold
I'll
it.
hold it.
You know the words, right?
There we go. I know the word.
Can we use the main?
But I
Can we
saw
use
it.
the main camera here? We're gonna crush this. All right. No, we can't.
Are
No,
we ready?
well, no, we don't need the words. We just want the camera. Chell's gonna sing. Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. One fine day in the Georgia sun, Mama waits for her little one. Papa sings a lullaby, here comes Dharma Doxie. Christmas Day dawns bright and clear while they await their Christmas cheer. Dharma's born with a happy tear. Hey there, Dharma Doxie. Dharma lives in a happy space at her mama and her papa's place. Yes, she is their very own. We love you, Dharma Doxie. Dharma's days are long and sweet as the love grows strong and her love grows deep. Then comes time for her to leave. Don't go, Dharma Doxie. She packs for her forever home. Blanky dog, this tasty bone. They love her and will miss her so. Lovely kisses, Dharma Doxie. Her mama and her papa waves as she walks away and is very brave. A tear rolls down her anxious face. Bye-bye, Dharma Doxie. Dharma strolls to the big purple plain with a bright green name as she sings the refrain. She's heading north to her home on the Mont. Happy trails, Dharma Doxie. Dharma leaves on a day of rain up in the sky, up in her plane. She flies away with sad, sad tears. Don't cry, Dharma Doxie. The sky clears up young Dharma's fears as a happy smile takes away her tears. She grins and holds her tail up high. Let's go, Dharma Doxie. Dharma dreams of a wonderful land with mountains high and great beach sand. Cross hills and dales to the New Hampshire farm. Yoo-hoo, Dharma Doxie.
Let's look at Dharma's love.
I know. By an airport window waits Shelly girl in a purple dress and braids and curls. She looks up high at the big blue sky. Where are you, Dharma Doxie? Dharma lands in the purple jet. Is she excited? Yes, you bet. But she cannot see her Shelly girl. Oh no, Dharma Doxie. The girl peers out from behind the crates that wait for their owners at the Manchester gate. Looking back, she sees big brown eyes. Beautiful Dharma Doxie. Shelly holds her Dharma high. She's soft and high, warm from the big blue sky. Dharma smiles her happy smile. Welcome home, Dharma Doxie. And you can see from the back Dharma's picture.
Oh, here's an actual picture of the real Dharma.
The real Dharma,
which is here.
which is much younger.
We were getting cameos of Dharma.
I saw that.
That was good.
Yeah, one thing was when they were singing the song, we found out, because I didn't grow up in New England, that how you pronounce New Hampshire. And
Really?
so, yes, and when
It's not New Hampshire?
New Hampshire is what a lot of people.
New
Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
New
that's-
Hampshire.
so-
What? Who says
so
that?
the kids.
New Hampshire. They had to practice New Hampshire.
New Hampshire. It's new.
Yeah.
New Hampshire.
Yeah.
New Hampshire. New
Yeah.
Hampshire.
Very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very true. So, but no, it was really a lot of fun, and the chorus, they volunteered to practice. They would come in on their recess to practice that song. It was really great.
And the great thing about this book, I mean, obviously that we just saw, is that you can have this as like a nighttime lullaby
Yes.
Absolutely.
to your kids.
That's right.
You can listen along
Right.
and just sing that same tune.
Absolutely.
right.
Very
Absolutely.
simple to follow.
That's
It's
right.
very simple, you know, and it was very interesting because I never planned it. It just kind of evolved in this way.
It's
And,
been your 10-year project.
Yeah.
and the students who worked on it, they had their spring concert, and so they all sang the book of the spring concert. We had
that's
we had the
nice.
pictures of the big
Right.
screen, and
And
yeah,
then,
it was a lot
then
of
in
fun.
the little town that we live in, Mount Vernon, they have a village school, and so the kids, they got together, their little chorus, but they had ukuleles and guitars and did it for us.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And so they practiced that song, and it's really, you know, I mean, like, you know, you have this idea that you're going to write a book, you know, like, what does that really mean, you know? And when we got to May, and we found an editor, we found a graphic designer, there's all these parts that we didn't even know existed. And we're like, okay, well, we know we need a publisher, you know, and we're going to fund this
And
ourselves.
so here we are sitting in the car waiting at
At a red light.
And Michelle's reading this article about, oh, you should get a local publisher. And I look up and there's this truck, and I said,
Next door.
yo, Shell, right there.
Right? And so,
Oh, it was
I
advertising
Yeah.
publisher?
Hollis Publishing. I said, write that number down.
Right there, that's what we want.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
See, fate.
right?
No,
Yeah.
it's very true. And when I called the publishing house, the owner called me back. His name is Kurt, And he said, oh yeah, bring your stuff down, we'll look at it. And they spent like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, we thought we'd be in there for like 15 minutes.
You know, just giving us free
But brought
advice.
in the graphic designer and was telling us that, and you know.
And so all this, you know, really wonderful suggestions on how to finish it up. And we walked out and we're like, oh yeah, let's do this. So,
Yeah.
you know, we contracted with them. Their graphic design is the one that really came out with like the layout, like how things are spaced on a page, you know.
I'm sure there's a lot to go that goes
That's
into
amazing.
it.
They
So
took-
this is so Hollis Publishing.
Right.
That's who your publisher
Right.
is in Hollis, New Hampshire.
That's right.
And they took us right on the Massachusetts border there.
Yeah, they're right near
Pepperell?
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Yep, they're right near
nice.
Pepperell,
Yes.
yeah.
So, but yes. go ahead.
So I see on the back where you have some, you know, references.
Yeah,
and I see one. The Adventure of Dharma Doxie is a sweet story about Dharma finding her forever home. Filled with sweet sentiments and colorful illustrations, this picture book is perfect for animal lovers, and the simple rhyming text makes it a delight to read aloud during story time. Written by Nicole Irvin, children's librarian at the Fitchburg Public Library, and where we'll be able to go and listen and see
May.
Dharma
Absolutely.
and do a reading during the Therapy Pets with Be Positive, correct?
Absolutely. On May 4th, on Saturday, it begins, I believe, at 10:30. Be Positive is going to be doing their presentation in the program that they do. And so when we come, what we're going to do is when we take Dharma on the road, we have like a PowerPoint of all of these pictures of Dharma and her travels, because it was been really interesting. And like, we camp a lot. And so we take Dharma with us camping. And everywhere we go, people are like, oh, they come over and they're talking to her. And we tell them Dharma's story, and they're like, oh yeah, I'll have my picture taken. So in the PowerPoint, you'll see pictures of all of these people who came up to Dharma, got their pictures taken.
Oh yeah,
You can actually,
she's famous now.
Yeah. Well,
you can actually go on a website and read all the blog stories. And so we've taken some of the best pictures and we've put them on this PowerPoint. So we do the PowerPoint and then we read and sing the book.
And so you can actually read to Dharma.
Yep.
And so we have a flyer for that event. Can we pull that up on the main screen here? Oh, it's not working. Well, there's a flyer.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can find it on your website.
Yes, we just posted it on our website.
And what's that website?
www.dharmadoxie.com.
Dharmadoxie.com, and that's spelled DharmaDoxie.com. Dharmadoxie.com. You can see all the information. Also, you can talk with Sally Craig and Be Positive. She's got some
Absolutely.
Facebook things where you'll be able to see
Yes.
it, and it's on the Fitchburg Public Library
Yes.
event calendar as well. So that'll be May 5th. Is that what you
May
said?
4th, Saturday.
May 4th, the first Saturday of the month.
Yep.
Every first Saturday of the month,
Yes.
actually, at Fitchburg Public Library at 10 a.m.
Yep.
is Read to Therapy Pets, and also you can play chess with George Mirjanian as well, and you'll be able to read to Dharma the Dachshund. Dharma Doxie
Yeah.
the Dachshund.
No,
Is she a Dachshund? Is that
Yes,
yes,
she
she
has
is.
long
She's a
hair.
miniature long-haired dachshund.
miniature long-haired Dachshund?
Dachshund, and I will tell you-
Miniature?
Miniature, yeah.
Aren't they all
Well,
miniature?
no,
Oh, no.
She's sort of like a tweenie. In
Yeah, so she's
between.
like 14 pounds.
The big
They get
Dachshund.
bigger?
Oh,
Yeah, like
no,
35
no,
pounds.
Oh.
Like a
But
basset
not
hound.
her.
But not her, no,
Yeah.
that's true. But you know, we really, we've enjoyed the project immensely. I grew up in Fitchburg. I went to all Fitchburg schools.
Me too.
You know, and I will tell you, and this is like, you know, decades ago, but I remember going to Academy Street School, which doesn't even exist anymore, up there by the high school, being in kindergarten, and then walking us hand by hand, little kindergartners down to the library. And when I walked into that children's library, I was like, I have
looks the
never
same.
seen picture books. I'm like, I was in love.
Oh yeah,
And so, you know,
we're very blessed to
Yeah.
have the Fitchburg Public Library and all the resources
Yes.
that we have there.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And I love that you're going to be there on
Yeah.
Saturday, March 4th at
It'll-
10 a.m.
Yep.
with Dharma Doxie.
Yep, with
And you'll
Dharma.
have books for sale, I
Oh,
imagine?
yeah,
Yes.
And
absolutely.
signed by the author?
Yes.
Yep, absolutely.
Also?
And every child that comes in, that little card there,
Oh, yeah.
the square card, every child will get one of these cards.
So what do we get?
And every
Let's see.
child will get this little sticker.
We get little stickers.
Right. And so one of the
Dharma Hugs.
Yep, Dharma Hugs, which
Dharma
actually evolved out of one of our our programs that we're doing. We're at Florence Rideout Elementary in Wilton, New Hampshire. And this fourth grader comes up to me and says, come on, give me a hug. And I'm like, nah, I don't know. And I put my hands up like this, and he high-fived me double. I said, Dharma Hugs. And that's where it started.
So Dharma Hugs are high fives.
Yep, double high five. And everyone will get a free sticker.
And I see Dharma Hugs has her little paws up.
Yep.
Doing Dharma Hugs.
Yes.
And so you have this little card.
Yep.
And on the card is the back. On the back of it has Dharma's address.
That's right.
And you get something special if you write to Dharma.
Right. If you write to that address, how this is set up, and tell me when your birth date is, I will send you a birthday card. Ooh. Now, currently, we have
here's a birthday
probably about 70 of these cards. And it's a sweet little wooden card that says Mount Vernon, New Hampshire.
And
then
it's made out of wood.
Yeah. And it's, the whole thing I put together. And I will put your
Dharma's
address
picture.
on it, Dharma's picture, and we'll write happy birthday, love Dharma.
Aww.
And then we're going to put it in another envelope and mail it to you so that it doesn't get damaged or anything.
Yes.
But, we have about 70 of those, and anyone who does that, I will.
And Dharma does have a Facebook page.
She does.
Dharma has a Facebook.
Dharma has. I don't, but Dharma does.
Dharma's special
does.
Facebook.
Yes.
Yep.
Do we get to follow along the adventures of Dharma?
Yes. If you go on the Facebook page, you'll see when I do the stories. You'll see a little blurb and a link where you just click on it, and then the picture. So the one that we just put up today was the flyer for the event.
Oh, perfect. So you can see the event also on Dharma's Facebook page,
That is
which
correct.
is Dharma Doxie's page.
That's right, Dharma Doxie.
Dharma
Dharma
Doxie.
Doxie. And if you'd like to be her friend, you just ask her and she'll click her. I'll click her and say yes.
Oh, perfect. Dharma accepts all friendship. Almost.
She
Well,
does,
maybe maybe Dharma shouldn't accept all friendships on Facebook.
Well,
Let me
probably
just
not,
Give you some advice.
Yep,
right.
that's right. And the thing is that we really see her as a goodwill ambassador. We were on the top of Mount Washington in New Hampshire this summer, holding her, and a man walks up to us and he's like, "Oh my gosh, my girlfriend has a dachshund, and we love dachshunds." And his name
Dogs
is
are the
Chris,
great connector.
right? And we did a story about Chris and her and this other little boy Danny, and all those stories are on the blog, so you can go back into the archives. And we had another great story down in Cape May.
Oh yes, I was we were in Cape May, and we went in to get something to eat. And I'm while I'm waiting for the food, I look outside and in the truck where Dharma was, and this woman is going up and she's actually kissing my window. Now I grew up in.
Maybe cross the line to a little creepy.
Right, because I grew up in Philadelphia, and that was even strange for me. Yeah, so I went out and I said, "Hi, can I help you?" And so she said, "Oh, I love dachshunds 200%." I said, "Well, you want to meet Dharma?" And so there she was, and she was really kissing the dog. I said, different strokes for different folks.
She loves the dog. Loves the dog.
Yeah.
Because Dharma is really, she is the most tail wagging, licking dog.
Look at her.
She's tired right now, but you put her in your
Relaxing.
lap, she's going to go for your face. She wants to kiss you.
Well, I mean, 14. How old are you in dog years? 80-something?
Yeah,
I'd be tired
she's up
too.
there,
Be a little tired too.
Yes.
But she really likes the attention. And
So what kind of things happen on Dharma's Facebook page? Because if it was my dogs, the adventure of Dynamite, it would be him chewing up all my shoes.
Yeah, well, we have.
Him chewing up all the solar lights in the lawn.
Right. Well, we have this little video there about Dharma and the bee, and it's.
Ooh, Dharma and the bee.
Dharma
yes,
the bee.
And Dharma.
And there's a video on the
Right.
website.
And you can see Dharma as she's all dressed up. She has her wings on.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And she's running around, and we did get one of the illustrators' sons
who volunteered. His name is Andrew Goss, okay?
And Dharma is licking his face.
And he volunteered to let her lick him and film it.
The video goes to the flight of the bumblebee.
Right. So it's really quite funny.
Oh, that's the music.
That's the music, right. And so,
It's really funny to watch.
like you'll see a little story that we just did on St. Patrick's Day. you know,
Oh, on the Facebook.
yeah, on the Facebook, and it has the link so you can go and actually read the whole story. But those are the kinds of pictures you'll see. A really cool adventure we just had recently, and this is something that I had. I was on my way to interview somebody in Greenville, New Hampshire, and I'm coming down this old country road, and it's like 0 outside. And I'm looking and said, oh look, there's a fox coming off the road. So I slow down for the fox, and I get closer, and it's a Chihuahua, and it's 0. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, and I'm like, so I go slow and I open the door, and I'm like, little guy, do you want to ride home? And he's like, no way, Jose, and runs up the hill. So I decide to follow him because I'm like, you know, he's not going to survive. He gets up to the top of the hill, he goes down this old road, and it's a farmhouse, and this pit bull comes out, and I'm thinking, and this dog loves him. He's kissing him, he's licking him, and his name is Bentley.
Bentley.
And so we were able to find out where the little Chihuahua went to, and that's one of the stories that you can see or read about on the website.
Oh, on the website,
Yep,
in
yes.
one of the blogs.
Yes.
Yep, on the blogs. And so on Facebook, you'll get a picture, the little clip, and if you go down, actually all the links are there for all of the stories.
So will there be a sequel to The Adventures of Dharma Doxie? Does Dharma go on any more adventures?
She does. She does. We've already got half a story done.
Oh,
and
okay.
the illustrator, Judy Wing, who
She's
is,
interested in doing this again?
Yeah, and she's
she's pushing us.
retiring this year.
Oh, so she'll have all
she's
kinds of
like,
time.
Yeah, so if we do this, you know, I'll have plenty of time. And I'm like, okay. And so yeah, we're in the middle of that. And how long it won't take 10 years.
Well, I see here, Dharma moved to Mount Vernon, New Hampshire to live with many brothers, a miniature short-haired Dachshund named Stonewall,
Yep.
a blue merle white collie named Merlin,
Yep.
and a Siberian husky named Gonzo,
Yes.
a miniature horse named Bilbo, a miniature goat named Pippin,
Yes.
a Siamese tiger barn cat named Frodo.
Yep.
So just Dharma has lots of friends
She
that
has
can
lots of
also go on
family.
adventures?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Like Frodo the barn cat. I can tell you about Frodo the barn cat.
Oh, Frodo the barn cat. Frodo the barn cat doesn't come inside?
No,
no.
we don't have a.
He's
we have
called
a
the barn cat because that's where I got him. My local farmer has a dairy farm.
Oh, so he does come inside.
Oh yeah, he
okay.
lives inside. Yeah. And so we wanted to get a kitten, and then so I walked down into the barn, and my eyes didn't adjust because it was a bright day out, and when I walked in, and I'm walking down the aisle, and all the cows are standing there getting milked, you know, and I step over something, and I walk up to the farmer, Kevin, and I'm like, Kevin, do you have any kittens? And he says, well, how do you like our new calf? And I'm like, what new calf? He said, you just stepped over it. And I went, oh my God. Because this cow had a baby right there. And that was the day that we found Frodo, the cat, and he was behind the door. And growing up in a barn, he had no fear of these yappy dachshunds that come running out screaming.
That's a good quality in a cat.
That's right.
Especially when Dharma has so many other friends.
That's true. That's true. So we really see a lot of what we do as being storytelling, and we didn't realize so many people would want to have their stories told. So people will send us pictures of their dog and little blips, and we'll write a story. Like we're gonna do a story about Dharma's adventure today, and because people are like, oh yeah, that's really great. I like that. So
awesome.
we'll be doing storytelling for a while, I'm sure.
And you, again, just to reiterate, you can go to the Fitchburg Public Library on Saturday, May 4th at 10 a.m. and you can read to Dharma her own book.
Yes.
Your children can read to Dharma. You can buy the book. You can meet Dharma.
Absolutely.
You can do Dharma hugs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dharma hugs, and that's all at the Fitchburg Public Library.
Absolutely.
All right, you can go to dharmadoxie.com to see more information. That's DharmaDoxie.com. And you can also go to Dharma Doxie on Facebook and follow her adventures.
Yes.
Okay? Thank you
Absolutely.
so much, Chell.
Thank you so
Ralph,
much.
for coming on.
Okay.
Is there anything else that I missed? We got a couple seconds.
I have one thing.
Ooh.
I'm
You have a Dharma
This
hat.
is true love here.
Our daughter Heather sent that to him, and so when we go and do our presentations,
You have to
he
wear
wears
the
the
hat.
hat.
Yeah, I do love it. And you have the bee.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And Dharma has the bee.
yeah, Dharma has a little
Okay.
bee outfit. Here you go, Dharma.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Thanks for coming on and thanks for watching.
Thank you for having us. Thank you very much. This was great.